Hello and welcome to Harmony Hall, a sacred space for all. As we gather in peace, we will grow in our beliefs and let our spirits breathe. As we gently explore the many faiths and religions that shape our spiritual world. Harmony Hall is a place of respect, reflection, and spiritual curiosity. Today around the campfire we journey back to ancient Babylon, to explore one of humanity's earliest written codes, the Code of Hammurabi. Here, carved in stone beneath the gaze of the gods, King Hammurabi sought to bring order to chaos, justice to the land, and divine balance to hearts of men. This ancient code reveals how faith and law intertwined, as morality, authority, and destiny were inscribed side by side upon sacred stone. A tale of kingship and command, where justice was measured by the will of the gods, and the voices of the divine guided human law. So come with me today, as we stand before the black basalt stele of Babylon, reading the echoes of laws that still whisper through time, reminding us how humanity's search for justice was once written in the language of the gods. Thank you for being here today, and for choosing Harmony Hall to help you on your spiritual walk to self-discovery. Imagine a world before Rome or Greece, before the great marble temples and legendary philosophers. Picture a time when the first cities were just beginning to rise from the earth, and the story of civilization was still being written in clay and stone. This is where humanity first began to write its story, literally, etching the earliest words into tablets that would outlast empires. In the fertile land between the Tigris and Euphrates, Mesopotamia, cities emerged from the dust, their walls rising beside rivers that nourished both crops and culture. Here, Hammurabi, king of Babylon, would change history not with conquest, but with law, a vision that would shape the world for millennia. Babylon was one of many city-states, each struggling for power in a landscape of shifting alliances and constant threats. Rival kings and ambitious warlords vied for dominance, making the region a patchwork of ambition and uncertainty. Hammurabi was a shrewd leader, expanding his realm, building temples to honor the gods, and commanding armies that defended his people. He understood that true power required more than force. It demanded wisdom and vision, but his true legacy was his vision: to govern with a single written code that applied to all, rich or poor, powerful or humble. Before him, laws were arbitrary, varying wildly from village to village. Justice depended on the whims of local rulers, and fairness was often a matter of luck. Hammurabi wanted justice as predictable as the stars, universal, transparent, and permanent. He dreamed of a society where everyone, from the highest noble to the humblest farmer, could know what was right and what was wrong. He sought to unite his diverse empire under one standard, making the rules of society visible and accessible. For the first time, the law was not a secret tool of the elite, but a public promise to all. This was a leap from unwritten customs to codified law, a monumental advance in social technology. It was a bold experiment in fairness and order. By inscribing laws in stone, Hammurabi created a social contract binding ruler and ruled alike. The law was now something you could see, touch, and read. Justice was no longer a secret. It became a public standard. People could gather, read, and understand the rules that governed their lives. His code marked a turning point, the birth of law as a tool for order, not just power. It was a foundation for peace, stability, and trust in society. Hammurabi's ambition was to engineer a stable society, where everyone knew the rules and could rely on them, no matter their status or origin. In the cradle of civilization, a king's laws would echo through history, reminding us that the quest for justice began long before our own time, in the heart of ancient Babylon. Babylon in Hammurabi's time was a thriving metropolis, a crossroads of trade, culture, and innovation. Its walls, temples, and palaces showcased human ingenuity, while its irrigation canals turned desert into farmland. Babylonians were keen astronomers, seeing the cosmos as a place of order governed by divine laws. This belief inspired Hammurabi: if the heavens had rules, so should society. Scribes developed advanced mathematics and filled libraries with clay tablets, technology that made a written code possible. The Code of Hammurabi emerged from this culture of knowledge and record-keeping. It was not born in isolation, but from a society already managing complexity with writing. Hammurabi harnessed these tools to build not just monuments, but the very framework of justice. In Babylon, law became as enduring as the stars. For laws to be accepted, they needed ultimate authority. In Babylon, that meant the gods. Hammurabi claimed his code was divinely given, not merely royal decree. Atop the stone stele, a relief shows Hammurabi receiving the symbols of justice from Shamash, the sun god. This image declared, the laws were sacred, not just political. The prologue to the code reinforced this, stating Hammurabi was chosen by the gods to bring justice and destroy evil. Disobeying the law meant defying the divine. This religious framing gave the code immense weight and legitimacy. The laws became a sacred covenant, not just administrative rules. Hammurabi's genius was to root his reforms in faith, ensuring obedience and stability. The divine mandate made the code unbreakable in the eyes of his people. What did Hammurabi's laws actually say? The code was a practical guide for daily life, not a philosophical treatise. It listed 282 laws in a clear if-then format, covering crime, trade, family, and more. Criminal justice was central. Punishments for theft, assault, and murder were spelled out. Economic laws regulated contracts, loans, wages, and prices, protecting both buyers and sellers. Family laws defined marriage, divorce, inheritance, and adoption, aiming to preserve social stability. The code held professionals, builders, doctors, boatmen, accountable for their work, sometimes with severe penalties. It was a comprehensive manual for a complex society, making expectations clear for all. By writing down these rules, Hammurabi created predictability and fairness, at least by the standards of his time. The code was a blueprint for order in every aspect of Babylonian life. An eye for an eye, the law of retaliation, is the code's most famous principle. This phrase, carved into stone thousands of years ago, has echoed through history as a symbol of justice and retribution. It's a simple idea, but it carried profound meaning for the people of ancient Mesopotamia. To us, it may seem harsh, but it was a step forward. It limited vengeance and made punishment proportional. Instead of endless cycles of revenge, the code set clear boundaries for what was acceptable, aiming to prevent violence from escalating out of control. Before this, justice was private and often spiraled into endless feuds. Families and clans would take matters into their own hands, leading to bloodshed that could last for generations. Hammurabi's code replaced chaos with state-sanctioned, measured retribution. The king's laws brought a sense of order and predictability to a world that had often been ruled by personal vendettas. But justice was not equal for all. The code drew sharp lines between people, reflecting the rigid social structure of Babylonian society. The code recognized three classes: nobles, commoners, and slaves. Each group had its own rights and its own set of punishments, written into law for all to see. Punishments varied by status. A noble's injury to another noble meant equal retribution, but harming a commoner or slave brought only a fine. The law was clear. Your place in society determined your fate in court. The code reinforced social hierarchy, valuing some lives more than others. It was a system designed to maintain order, but also to keep people in their place. It aimed for order, not equality, making everyone's place in society clear. The law was a tool for stability, not for justice as we might define it today. The code's punishments were tools for stability, not fairness as we see it today. They were meant to keep the peace, even if that meant treating people differently. Still, the idea that the state, not individuals, should administer justice was revolutionary. It marked a turning point in the history of law and government. Hammurabi's laws curbed cycles of revenge and set the foundation for public justice. For the first time, people could look to a higher authority for resolution. The code's legacy is the principle of proportionality, even if its application was deeply unequal. This idea, that punishment should fit the crime, still shapes our sense of justice today. In a world of rigid classes, the law was both a shield and a boundary, protecting society from chaos while also drawing lines that few could cross. Much of Hammurabi's code was about daily life, commerce, agriculture, and family. Business deals required written contracts and witnesses, making fraud harder and trade safer. Agriculture was tightly regulated. Neglecting irrigation could mean financial ruin for a neighbor, and the law demanded compensation. The code fostered collective responsibility. One person's negligence could affect the whole community. Marriage was a legal contract, with dowries and bride prices protecting property rights. Divorce was possible, but the rules favored men. Women had to prove mistreatment to leave. Inheritance and adoption were formalized, ensuring property passed in an orderly way. These laws reflected a patriarchal society, but also aimed to protect family stability. In every sphere, Hammurabi's goal was to replace uncertainty with clear, written rules. The code made daily life more predictable, if not always more just. How do we know Hammurabi's laws? What allowed these ancient rules to echo through the ages, reaching us thousands of years later? The answer lies in the remarkable durability of cuneiform writing. These laws were not just spoken or remembered. They were carved in stone and copied on clay, making them nearly impossible to erase from history. The most famous version stands over 7 feet tall, a black diorite stele inscribed with dense cuneiform script, its surface covered with the king's code. This monument was meant to last forever, a public declaration of justice for all to see, whether they could read or not. Cuneiform, one of the world's earliest scripts, was pressed into soft clay or chiseled into hard stone by skilled scribes, using tools that left wedge-shaped marks. The stele was displayed in a public place, symbolizing that law was not a secret reserved for the elite, but a foundation for society. Even if most people couldn't read, scribes could recite the laws aloud, ensuring everyone knew the rules that governed their lives. Copies on clay tablets spread the code across the empire, standardizing justice and uniting distant cities under a common set of laws. Ironically, the stele survived because it was taken as war booty, hidden away and then rediscovered centuries later by archaeologists searching for traces of the past. Today, it stands in the Louvre, a testament to the durability of law, memory, and the written word, still inspiring awe in those who see it. The physical code made justice visible and enduring, a message from the ancient world that still speaks to us. Hammurabi's laws survived because they were built to last, etched in stone, preserved by time, and remembered by history. Hammurabi's code was a turning point, a comprehensive public set of laws that shaped later civilizations. Its influence can be seen in the legal traditions of the Hittites, Assyrians, Hebrews, and beyond. The idea of written, publicly displayed law became a cornerstone of justice. The code introduced the burden of proof accusations, required evidence, discouraging false claims. Its if-then logic shaped legal thinking for generations. Principles like retaliation and compensation appear in other ancient texts, including the Hebrew Bible. Hammurabi's ambition was to govern a complex society with unified rules. The state became the arbiter of disputes, replacing private vengeance with public justice. While the code's punishments seem harsh today, its project was revolutionary, the rule of law over the rule of men. Hammurabi's code laid the groundwork for modern legal systems. Why does Hammurabi's code still matter? Because it was humanity's first great blueprint for living together in peace. The code tackled timeless problems: crime, fraud, family disputes, and the need for accountability. Its solutions may seem foreign, but the questions are universal. By writing laws down and displaying them, Hammurabi declared that power should rest on principles, not whims. Even the king was bound by the law, a radical idea for its time. The code's legacy is the concept of the rule of law, the foundation of civil society. Hammurabi's stone stele reminds us how long we've sought justice and order. The dream of a just society began here, and still inspires us today. Thank you for joining me today on this sacred walk through time. Here in Harmony Hall, we gather in peace, grow in our beliefs, and let our spirits breathe, as we gently explore the many faiths and religions that shape our spiritual world. Join us next time, as we continue this journey of wonder, wisdom, and reflection, because here in Harmony Hall, all religions are welcomed and every voice is heard.